Adam, you had other businesses before this that were
Yep.
successful. What made you want to dive into the bagel business? Because that's
Uh,
not something that most
Adam,
people do.
Goldberg, tell him what your daily what your grind was before bagels, because I think
Yeah,
you
I
got
mean, and it's still my grind. I mean, I've
yeah.
got a flood business. I've been mitigating, I've been helping buildings and cities and airports mitigate floods since 2012, right around Hurricane Sandy. And it's still, I mean, this month was probably the most active we've been in years, with all the storms on the East Coast. I never actually set out to get into the bagel business. I was making bagels to have fun. And, it started out last July, and me and my cousin were just hanging out in the pool, and we said, let's make bagels tomorrow. So for 3 days, we made bagels. And on the fourth day, our wives kicked us out of the kitchen and said, stop cooking, you know, go buy bagels. So we went and bought them, and they kind of sucked. And our kids were like, we don't want to eat these. What happened to the good bagels? And we were like, oh, wait a second. Maybe we're onto something. So the bagel business really found me more than me having any desire to get into it. And, it's just been the most fun I've ever had in my life. We are just, since last summer, just making people smile every weekend. And it's grown from 5, 6, 7, 8 people in my backyard to 30 people to 50 people. And now it's 300, 400 people every weekend that are buying a dozen bagels from us, and expanding every week. It just gets busier and crazier and more fun.
Now, this is something that was a first for me, and Darren, I'm curious if this is a first for you as well. Seeing a product like bagels sell out, that was never a thing. Like, Adam, I doubt you see this in the flood business where you like drop a link and then people have to like buy the flood coverage and then it sells out. But like, it's something that I was first exposed to with sneakers and Supreme. And that's why I've always called Papa Bagels the Supreme of bagels, because things actually sell out
And that
for
makes more sense to me now, because I didn't know what Supreme was, to be honest. So
yeah,
now I
But
get it.
I would say, Adam has been a genius here in the idea of making bagels special. So one, the product works and it's a great bagel and people want it. And then taking the traditional model of bagels are always available. The biggest inconvenience is you might have to wait on a long line, but then bringing it to popping it up in various places and contributing to how special it is. So the product is special, but then the process of getting the product is also special. And missing out for the first 3 weeks, or you can't, how can I get these? You can't get them. Like, no one has ever said that in the history of the world since the first circular bread was made. So like, and that was great, whether purposeful or not. But the thing that was purposeful about this whole thing is, and I'll let him tell more of his story, but as it got more viral, he resisted the temptation to make it anything but what it was in the past. And that helped continue the buzz.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up every Sunday or Saturday. My family would come home from Livingston Bagel in New Jersey with a dozen bagels and cream cheese and butter, throw it on the table. And the four of us would sit around the table and eat bagels and talk about the weekend or talk about the week ahead. And, over the past few years, and longer than few years probably, it's turned into people waiting in these 20-person lines at the bagel store, and they're buying a bagel with this egg and this bacon or this cheese or this spread. And they go home and everyone takes their bagel and they go into the other room because they're already packaged, they're already made a sandwich, and the whole family point of it is over. So we really love the idea of buying bagels by the dozen, and getting the spreads, and it lives with you for the weekend, or invite some friends over. And even our subscription model, which has people who every week or every other week are buying bagels at a specific time, and they have it set so that there's no line, they just show up, their bagels are there. Some people at the beginning were like, oh, well, I don't know what to do with 12 bagels. And all of a sudden they're now sharing them with their neighbors, or they're having their friends over every Sunday for a brunch. And it creates this whole atmosphere that, of love that surrounds eating the bagels on the weekend. I love that. I love that idea. So we really,
Adam, don't you think that, you know, a lot of it has to do with we were getting away from the bagel. The bagel became a vessel instead of the bagel itself. I mean,
yeah,
you talk about all these spreads and this and that. Like, the truth is we were hiding the genius of the bagel. Like,
yeah,
why did I like a flagel? Because it had the largest surface area.
right.
That doesn't speak to the actual flagel itself.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely the bagel has become this monotone, very inexpensive, cheap white flour, poorly made, poorly proofed, really bland, no flavor until you add something to it. We definitely have a lot of people who just eat our bagels straight up, no topping. Now we do get creative with our schmears and our spreads, and we love that concept. But at the end of the day, if you can pick up a Malden salt bagel and just eat it like it's, you know, the most flavorful thing you've had, I mean, that's what really drives us and keeps us going forward.
And there have been some pretty ridiculous cream cheeses and things like that. You guys just debuted the cookies and cream cheese, which Dan, I don't know if you've ever seen them before. I was shocked when I saw it. I was, oh, this is so obvious. This seems like the natural evolution of a cream cheese to turn into dessert like everything else. You did the Utz cheese ball cream cheese. I know you've had like the peach
The honey butter was excellent.
The hot honey butter.
Mike's hot honey butter. This week we're doing like roasted red pepper cream cheese, you know, which just has an amazing, you know, kick to it. And we've just, I mean, every week we try to be creative, and, you know, we bring back, I think our most popular cream cheese from the beginning has been the dill pickle cream cheese, which, you know, really everyone thinks they're going to hate it, and then they eat it and they just want more. So definitely keeps it exciting for us.